Hi, I'm Jim Van Cleve. In this video, I want to help you think through starting or restarting your aquaponics journey. But before we dive into pumps and pipes and plants, I want you to pause and ask yourself a question. Who are you in this journey? What's your passion? Why do you want to grow with aquaponics? Or we grow together, why share such a journey? For me, the context was clear. I live in a dryland hot climate where water is precious and food security matters. For the last 35 years, I've worked for an INGO with at-risk youth and refugees from nearby war-torn countries with mentoring, livelihoods, non-formal education, trauma therapy, and the like. Recently, we had a pilot project with hydroponics and permaculture in youth centers, one for girls and one for boys. We saw we need to step up with further pilot training, like with aquaponics. I spent actually about 2 years considering YouTubes and reading about aquaponics before finally committing. And 3 years ago, I set up my first backyard system, 600 liters of water in a pre-owned IBC tank with koi and a simple grow bed of plants. That's when the real learning curve began. And I tell you, it hasn't been instant or perfect, but it's been one of the most rewarding experiments I've ever taken on. In this video, let's step back and think together about your options, your learning curve, and how you can start or restart your aquaponics journey in a way that fits you, your context, and your why. In the very first week, I learned a hard lesson. One of my aeration hoses had slipped loose in the middle of the night, and by morning I had lost about 10% of my small koi fish. By the first month, another challenge hit. A half-inch pipe carrying water from the filter to the grow bed clogged overnight. I woke up to about 2 inches of water flooding the basement apartment where my system was running. I spent the hour that morning with a squeegee, pushing water out the door and topping up the tank. I was a bit late to my full-time job with the INGO. Fortunately, about 6 inches of water remained below the pump intake, so the fish all survived. Looking back, one of the biggest wrong assumptions I've had was about light. I thought a basement apartment with windows and artificial lights would be enough for plants. Surely the right grow lights would have been most helpful. Anyway, it wasn't, and they weren't. When we finally built a small greenhouse from pre-owned wood and steel and polycarbonate sheets, I saw just how powerful the Levant sun really is. Through all these early mistakes and messy mornings, I realized something. In aquaponics, especially in the beginning, you need a stubborn kind of persistence. There's a quiet joy to growing spinach and basil and ginger, and in coaxing small fig and willow tree cuttings to take root. Traveling internationally for work and family visits this past July was challenging, especially since 2 weeks earlier we had moved across town to a new apartment closer to my wife's work and daughter's high school. Furniture, goods, greenhouse, tanks, and all. Our helper faithfully fed the fish each day, and by the time we returned, not only had the plants flourished, but a small bamboo sapling had rooted itself from a stray rhizome of a mature bamboo. The koi, they surprised me the most, proving far more resistance than I'd ever expected, surviving even when a simple half-inch piping flaw nearly brought them down. But what about you? I expect you're no stranger to struggling to build something valuable, whether it's a project, a business, or a new habit. Aquaponics is no different. It'll test you, it'll frustrate you, but it'll also deeply reward you if you stick with it. So let's consider a journey together. This video is an introduction to aquaponics. It will deal with pipes and pumps and plants and fish with IBC tanks and grow beds and grow media. And at the same time, though, it will touch on climate and agricultural capacity, food safety and security, population density and places and spaces, livelihoods and economic reality, legacy, passion, and sense of purpose, mentorship, age and health, infrastructure, and regulatory policy, to name a few. But those of us who are way over 40, and maybe there or nearing retirement age, we need a sense of purpose and mental stimulation. Lifelong learning for us has to become a reality. And furthermore, we need social engagement. Aquaponics is an amazing way to do that. It brings into reality STEM lessons that some of which are way buried back there in suitcases, as well as tacit information that we learn throughout our careers. I noticed the other morning, this is about water chemistry. Oh, this is about mathematics. Oh, this is about the interaction between fish and plants. And for this, I'm excited to consider a series with you over 40 and with those who are around us, be it our children, our grandchildren, our neighbors, young people who might be looking for something very much that you can assist them with and provide. Thank you.